Hello, hello. Welcome to Reading Time. My name's Time, and today we're going to be reading The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Let's get to reading. The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein is a picture book, and you may recognize the name Shel Silverstein. He's a well-known American poet. He did the poetry collection Where the Sidewalk Ends, and this book is, I would say, pretty well known. Most anyone I've talked to recognizes at least this cover, even if they don't recognize the title of the book. The Giving Tree is a story about a boy and a tree who are close friends and how their friendship changes throughout the seasons of life, with the tree continuing to give and give and give to the boy while the boy continues to take in the relationship. I would give this book a 4 out of 5-star rating. I definitely like it. I have a little bit of nostalgia associated with it because I remember this being read in elementary school, and I enjoy Shel Silverstein's work. But it wasn't quite a 5-star book for me. It wasn't one that I especially love or find especially over the top fantastic, but it was a really good book. So that's why I give it 4 instead of 5 stars. For content, there's no sensitive content in this book. However, in more recent years, people have become concerned with the way that this book seems to idolize the actions of the tree, especially. These people are not upset that the tree is sharing or giving its time and energy in this relationship, but they're concerned that the tree and the boy's relationship represents toxic, unhealthy relationships that entail one party giving fully into the relationship while the other party just takes. So for those reasons, you may want to read this before sharing it with younger readers and assess for yourself whether that's something you'd like to share or not. With that being said, however, I would put this at a kindergarten through 3rd grade reading level. This is a good book, even with concerns that may arise. And I think, as with any book that may have some content that could be interpreted one way or another, it's important to read it before you share it with younger readers, especially, so that you can have a conversation about it and so that you're aware of the content in the book and it doesn't surprise you once you do either get questions asked or once you read it yourself, maybe after the younger reader. So better to read first and come prepared before sharing it with younger readers. Now, this book can be interpreted in a couple of different ways. The first interpretation that I'll share, I think, is the most common and is part of what the previous concerns I noted stems from. And that is that the tree and the boy are friends in a relationship that may not be especially healthy. We see different moments in the book that show the different moments of the boy's life, especially, and the tree just kind of stays the same for the most part, in that we don't really see her grow as much. But as he grows up and grows past his childhood innocence of playing and just enjoying being outside with the tree, he turns into, a teenager and starts to care more about his relationship with his significant other, with his family, with money and power and prestige and the like. And so the tree, every time the boy comes back to him, tries to solve his problem. by giving him apples that he can sell for money, or giving him branches to keep his house warm, or giving her entire trunk to make a boat so that the man can sail away from his problems. And ultimately, the tree ends up being just a stump. This page says, "And the tree was happy, but not really." And the book ends positively with the boy coming back as an old man, the tree saying she has nothing else to give, but the boy saying he doesn't want anything more than a place to sit and relax, which, as a stump, she could offer. So looking at this book as a tale of friendship and how it changes and grows throughout the seasons, maybe not grows in some ways, maybe it's a one-way relationship really, can make this book seem especially, problematic for some people. And I think that interpretation is a valid one. But the interpretation that I prefer, and I think personally is more impactful, is that the tree is a representation of a mother and the boy is a representation of a child. And there are a couple of reasons why I personally interpret it that way. The first reason is that the tree, once we're introduced in the very beginning, is already a full-grown tree. It's not a sapling, it's not young like the boy, it's a full-grown tree, and it takes care of the little boy, it plays with the little boy, and the boy grows up and starts to distance himself from the tree, just as when we grow up, we tend to distance ourselves from our parents. We, go out into the world, make our own families and all of that stuff, but he still comes back over and over again to the tree, or more symbolically to this mother figure. Another reason why I like to look at it as a mother-son relationship is that the boy in the story, even when he's a really old man, is still referred to as the boy. And for me, that shows how even when we're old, we are always our parents' children. Additionally, when we look at a mother-to-child relationship versus a friendship or a relationship, especially when the child is young, we don't expect the child to give as much in the relationship as the parent does. The child is not able to take care of themselves, and so needs to have that sort of relationship where the parent gives all that they can and the child takes it all. And I think that looking at it from this perspective can change the way you look at the tree and the tree's willingness to give everything. The tree isn't necessarily naive or blind to the actions of the boy. The tree cares about the boy deeply in a way that, a parent cares for a child. Now, as I said, these are just a couple of interpretations of the book. I'm sure you could interpret it other ways. Which interpretation do you prefer, or do you associate with the book? Do you think of it as more of a friendship relationship, or do you, like me, prefer the familial mother-son relationship? Or can you think of another interpretation that fits with the story? I'd love to hear it, so feel free to share in the comments your thoughts on this book. I have updated our poster once again with the giving tree. It is right here on the edge, and as you can see, it is a tree. Pretty simple. It matches the color scheme of the hungry caterpillar, which I think is kind of fun. I'm wondering if more of these squares are going to match each other, and really how it's going to look in the end, because I have absolutely no idea, but I'm excited to get there. If you are interested in following along with this reading challenge, please feel free to subscribe to the page and follow me on social media for updates about each week's reading. As always, I hope that you have a marvelous week and a wonderful read.